Hey guys, so I'm back with another perfume video. Thank you so much for the love on my first one. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 perfumes that I would repurchase and 5 that I wouldn't. So before we get into it, I'd love to have you subscribe down below, and you can also give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. My Instagram, Twitter, and my main YouTube channel will all be linked down below in the description box if you want to check those out as well. And let's just go ahead and get into the perfumes. I'm going to start off with the ones that I would repurchase. So the first perfume that I definitely would repurchase, I know for sure, is Jo Malone, and this is Blackberry Bay. So this is a perfume that I talked about on my other channel many times. Whenever I did a perfume video, this was one of the perfumes that I talked about a lot. This is just honestly one of my favorites. I love this scent. This is a very realistic scent in that it smells like real blackberries and bay leaves. It really just has that natural sort of element to it. As always, the Fragrantica notes will be on the screen, but I'm pretty sure this has like woody notes in the base, like cedarwood or something like that, which I do get, but mainly it is that like fresh, juicy blackberry and bay leaf, because you really get that herbal kind of tone with the blackberry. It's really, really beautiful. It's a really unique scent. I have never smelled anything else like this. I always get compliments on this one. It's probably my husband's favorite perfume because he always compliments this one on me, which doesn't happen that often because he is more sensitive to fragrance. But this one is just super likable while, like I said, still being very unique. And it kind of just has that cool edge to it. I feel like it's a cool girl perfume. It doesn't have any sweetness to it. It could be unisex, I guess. A man could totally wear this, but I personally would like it better on a female. But I just think it's a really nice scent, and I will definitely repurchase this when I run out. I feel like it's the type of perfume that I have to always have in my collection because it's so different from anything else that I have, and I would definitely miss it if I didn't have it. So that is Jo Malone Blackberry Bay. Okay, the next 2 perfumes are actually both more recent purchases, but I picked them up from Mercari because I had gone through a travel size. So technically I've already repurchased these. I know that I love them, and I don't very often pick up perfumes in full bottles that I've gone through in a travel size because I really like to try different stuff a lot. So I really have to love it and want it to be like a staple in my collection in order to pick up a full-size bottle of a travel size that I've gone through. So I got this wonky piece of hair here. The first one is actually a perfume I talked about in my last video, but I now have the full bottle of it, and this is Valentino Valentina Pink. I mentioned how much I love this fragrance in my Sweet Perfumes video, and that I had a full bottle on the way, and it's here now. And this is another perfume that I will definitely be repurchasing once I run out because it's just such a beautiful, sweet, but still fresh and feminine and not too young or girly. This one is just a beautiful strawberry rose fragrance. It has a fresh, sort of clean scent to it as well. It's not like strictly a sweet gourmand. So yes, it definitely has that freshness along with the sweet, but it does have that like strawberry rose syrup kind of scent to it. And mixed together, it's just absolutely beautiful. This is one of those perfumes that I feel like you could wear and everyone will like it. It's just a very likable, pretty, beautiful scent, and I love this matte bottle with like the flower. This is what it looks like. I don't usually like bright colored bottles, but this one I'm really obsessed with. I just think it's an absolutely beautiful bottle. So that is Valentino Valentina Pink. Definitely will be a repurchase for me. The other perfume that I picked up from Mercari that I went through in the travel size is Indigo by Nest Fragrances. This is another very unique perfume. It's unlike anything I've ever smelled, to be honest. This one has a very strong tea note, but it also has fig in it, and the fig really adds this sweetness to it. So in the beginning, it's very fresh and it has a bit of like a spicy, almost peppery undertone to it, but then it also has this like sticky fig sweetness, like dried figs, like dried fruit kind of sweetness. It really smells like a blend of mint and green teas with like a sticky, figgy, dried fruit. That's really what I get from this. It's honestly super, super unique. Like I said, one of the most unique perfumes in my collection, and I really love the bottle of this as well. It has this just clear front, and then the back sticker has this beautiful picture. So it's just Super pretty. You can see the sticker on the back here is just like a matte black, but this is the type of fragrance for me that I feel like, again, I would miss it if it's gone from my collection because it is so unlike anything else that I have that I really just need to be able to have the option to wear this at all times, and that's why I would repurchase this. So definitely one of my favorites. I have so many favorite perfumes, you guys, but I'm gonna try not to be super repetitive in my videos and talk about the same ones all the time. So I do have other perfumes that I would repurchase, but these are just some of the ones that right now I'm like, I need this bottle in my collection. I don't know how I feel about my hair right now, but anyways, next perfume is a classic. This is Viktor and Rolf Flowerbomb, and I actually wish that I had brought my other bottle over here to show you guys because I also really love the EDT version. This is the EDP version, and this is the one that most people know about. The EDT version is very discontinued, and that's why it's not on this list because I can't really repurchase it because it is so ridiculously hard to find. It's actually one of the first perfumes that I fell in love with, and I actually think I prefer it to the EDP version. The only thing is that this one lasts a lot longer, and I also do really like the scent of this, and I'll definitely repurchase it when I run out. I just think I prefer the scent of the EDT a little bit more, even though it just doesn't last as long. And I actually really like to layer them as well, but this is just a classic. Probably most of you have already smelled this. It's just a floral, warm, sweet bomb, and it really has a sweet warmth to it along with those floral notes. I don't tend to love just a regular old floral that doesn't have anything mixed with it, but this has a warm, sweet undertone that's really nice. And it also has a tea note in this one as well. It does have a bit of that like comforting undertone that I kind of feel like is from the tea. I do smell it when I think about it. But yeah, Flowerbomb is just one of those perfumes that I feel like I always want in my collection because it's just a classic and I love the way it smells. It is a really beautiful, likable scent. So that is Flowerbomb by Viktor and Rolf. Last perfume I would definitely repurchase is Passione by Giorgio Armani. This is a fragrance that I fell in love with immediately when I smelled it. I heard Kathleen Lights talking about it, and then later I heard that she decluttered it because she felt like it wasn't super unique, I guess. For me, personally, I still love this perfume. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely one that I would want in my collection once I run out. This does have rose in it, but it's not super prominent. To me, it just has like a floral freshness to it with like a musky base. And I think it has some woody notes in there, fruity as well. To me, this is a very likable scent. It's not a typical musky floral that kind of turns you off or makes you think it's too mature. And it's one of those perfumes that I reach for when I don't know what to wear. Sort of like the Malone Blackberry Bay. This is definitely an easy reach for me. I reach for this a lot of the time. This is another one of those, but this one I actually prefer in the fall and winter time just because I feel like it has this piercing, fresh tone to it that's just really nice in colder weather for some reason. And I also wore this for like an entire fall and winter one time, so it kind of has that feeling and I kind of remember it like that. I know not everyone loves this one, but I really like it. That is Passione by Giorgio Armani. So, just trying to get my hair to look decent right now. Let's move on into the perfumes that I wouldn't repurchase. And this list are not perfumes that I don't like. They're not perfumes I won't wear because if I don't like a perfume, I have already decluttered it because I just personally don't like holding on to things I'm not going to wear. So yeah, these are not perfumes that I wouldn't wear. They're just perfumes that I won't repurchase once I run out because I don't feel like they're like staple essentials in my collection, if that makes sense. So the first one that I want to talk about is actually an Escada perfume. This is Turquoise Summer, and this is a fragrance that I mentioned on my other channel when I did a favorite spring and summer perfume video last year in 2020. I talked about this perfume and I do still really like this perfume, but it's one of those things where once I run out of this, I'll probably just try another Escada perfume because I know so many of them smell similar. There's so many out there to try, and this is really nice, but I don't think I would just repurchase this over trying a new one. So this one to me is very fruity, but very synthetic fruity. The thing I get the most in this is probably the strawberry, but then you also get other tropical fruits in there as well. And this has like a kind of fresh soapiness to it. It's kind of like a soapy, fruity cocktail, and it really does smell tropical. It smells like summer and something that you would wear on vacation. But I know I'd like a lot of the other Escada perfumes as well, and I've actually smelled some of the other ones, so I would just be trying a different one over going back to this one because this just isn't a staple for me. I feel like there's so many other summer perfumes out there that I want to try, and I just don't think that this would be a holy grail for me. Another perfume that I would not repurchase is Victoria's Secret Tease. This is a perfume that was actually a gift. My brother gave this to me for Christmas, so I won't be getting rid of it, and I actually do really like this, but it's just not a perfume that I would repurchase because it's very kind of basic. This smells really a lot like Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture, like honestly almost identical. It just has that fruity vanilla scent to it, and my brother really loved this perfume. When he bought it for me, he said it smells like amazing. So I think it's a very likable scent to guys, which kind of makes sense because that's how Viva La Juicy is. Victoria's Secret kind of has those really likable scents. And it is really nice, but the lasting power and projection isn't great. It's just not a super strong perfume. And it's honestly just not that memorable for me. I feel like there's so many other perfumes out there that I want to try. I will use this up, but I won't be repurchasing Victoria's Secret Tease because it's just not memorable enough for me. The next one is a dupe house fragrance. This is by Be Layered, and this is their First Kiss perfume, which is a dupe for Delina. So I've talked about this before, and I do really, really like this perfume. I think it's a beautiful scent. The reason I won't be repurchasing this though is because I would purchase the original Delina. I just prefer that one, honestly. I have had a sample of it. I think it smells really beautiful, and this one does too, but a lot of people said in reviews that the nutmeg note came out a lot more in this, and it had more of like a sharpness to it, which I do have to agree with. I think the original Delina is a lot softer and smoother. It's just better blended. So for that reason, I would purchase that one, even though it's so expensive. And I think it's great to get a dupe of something. But I think that this, it isn't quite an exact dupe because of that really sharp note in there. And I think a lot of people actually tend to notice that. And it doesn't get as many compliments as the original Delina. I think that it's a good perfume if you wanted to try Delina and you just want to see kind of what it smells like and you don't want to spend the money. I do like this. I just think I would want the original Delina in my collection over First Kiss. Next one is another perfume by Good Chemistry. I talked about a Good Chemistry perfume in my last video, but this one is Brainiac. This is a very kind of cologne-y type of scent. It really has kind of a masculine feel to it, like a spicy, fresh, clean scent. It smells kind of like a lemony, peppery type of perfume. On the description here, it says clean and practical with a bit of wit. I think that's a good description for it, and I do think it's a nice scent. This is the type of thing that I wear to the gym or just like when I want to smell really clean and I don't know what to put on, but it's just not one that I would repurchase because I feel like there's so many other fresh, clean, kind of masculine unisex vibe scents out there. There's really just so many options, and I just don't think this is one of the best ones. There's other ones I like more, so that's why I wouldn't repurchase that one. And then the last one is another dupe house, actually. This is the Alt Fragrances Cherry Smash number 12, and this is a dupe for Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I had really been wanting to try that, or like a cherry fragrance in general. And this actually does smell super intoxicating, and I really do like it. If you guys watch the fragrance videos on my other channel, you might have seen my blind buy haul that I did a couple months ago, and I got this fragrance in that haul, and my reaction to it was really intense. Like, I thought it smelled amazing because I had never smelled a cherry perfume like this before, where it has that kind of like synthetic cherry note that kind of almost smells like cough syrup in a way, just like a sweet syrupy cherry. This has vanilla, and it just smells super addicting kind of. But the reason that I wouldn't repurchase this one or the original Tom Ford Lost Cherry is just because the next time I try a cherry perfume, I would like to try something a little bit more toned down, something a little bit more feminine and soft. And I still would like to have that cherry note in it, but not something that has this much, like maybe the Prada Candy one, that I think it's Prada Candy Kiss maybe, but there's a few different ones out there that have the cherry note that I'd really like to try that aren't this intense, if you know what I'm saying. I just feel like this one would be a bit much for some people, and while it does smell really addicting and beautiful and I will use up the bottle, I just wouldn't choose to repurchase this one over other cherry fragrances. That is all the perfumes that I had to talk about in this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Since I don't have access to the community page yet here on YouTube with this channel, I'm pretty sure you need like 1,000 or 5,000 subscribers to have access to the community tab. Let me know in the comments down below what else you would like to see from me on this channel. I do have a list of video ideas, but I'd love to know what you guys want to see. So like I said, let me know down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this one. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.